Hello everyone! Today we will be learning a little bit about blood and how our heart pumps blood all across our body. Wait, am I bleeding? I'm kidding, it's just ketchup. But now that I mention it, what is blood anyways? This is what we'll be exploring in today's activity. We will learn about something that works so hard to keep us alive every day. Our heart! Ready? Let's get started. Whenever you scrape your knee or prick your finger, there's something that looks like ketchup on your cut. It's blood. Have you ever wondered what it's made up of? Blood is made up of three main things. Let's discuss them one by one. First are red blood cells that carry oxygen around in our body so we can stay alive. Red blood cells and oxygen work together to give blood its signature red color. Next are white blood cells that act like security guards on surveillance and protect us from invaders. Last but not least are platelets. They make sure you don't lose a lot of blood just because of a small paper cut. They help seal up your cut so you can heal properly. Clearly, there's so much going on inside our blood. But wait, that's not all. Blood also carries important things around in our body so we can keep living our lives. Most of our blood is actually made up of a yellowish liquid called plasma. It's actually plasma that carries the important things in our blood, like red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and nutrients, all around our body. For example, let's say you were hungry and you had a really nice sandwich. Your blood will carry the important things from your sandwich to the places in your body that need it most. See? You're not hungry anymore. Let's also say that you are running a really long marathon. Your leg muscles need oxygen to keep moving. It's your red blood cells that carry the oxygen to your leg muscles so you can cross that finish line. Clearly, blood is really important. But how does it actually move around in our body? How does it get to the places that it needs to really fast? This is where your heart comes in. Your heart beats with enough force to push blood all around your body. But how does it actually do this? Let's build our own heart model to see how the heart pumps blood. Ready? Let's dive in. For this activity, you will need 3 cups. You can use clear glass ones. They will work the best for the activity. Make sure that the tops of the cups isn't too wide, or the activity will be a little difficult. Small, clear cups work the best. You will also need 3 straws. Make sure one of the straws can bend. 2 balloons. You will also need electric tape. This works the best for the activity. If you have strong duct tape or masking tape, they will work as well. But Scotch tape will give you some trouble because it is not as strong in water. You will also need scissors. You will need some water as well. And red food coloring is optional. So the first thing we're going to do is, we're going to take our 2 balloons and we're going to cut the neck off of our balloons using scissors. Next, we're going to take some tape and we're going to seal the top of the necks shut. Now, we're going to take one of the balloon pieces and we're going to cut a tiny slit right underneath where we taped the balloon shut. Make sure that you only cut one side of the balloon. You don't want to cut the other side or else the water will leak through. You want to cut a small slit, just like this. It should be big enough for a straw to fit through. Please don't make the slit too big. we're going to do the same thing with the other balloon piece. Remember, only to cut one side of the balloon. Now let's take a look at our straws. We're going to take one of the straws that don't bend and we're going to put it through the small hole that we made on one of the balloon pieces. This is perfect. The straw is not going through the other side. We just want to have it sideways. Now we're going to take our other straw, the one that doesn't bend, and we're going to cut it in half. Now we're going to take the straw that does bend and we're going to cut it so that there is an equal amount of straw on either side of the bend. And we're just going to bend it like this. And we're going to put the straw that we cut in half on either side of the bend. And now what you want to do is you want to tape both of these straws together. Make sure that the tape is pretty tight. We don't want water leaking through our straw. Now we're going to take our other balloon piece that we cut and we're going to take one straw and put it through the slit. Now we're going to take our balloon head and we're going to cut two slits right across from each other. That is about all the slit that you need, so please make sure that the slit you cut is not bigger than this. Now we're going to cut the same slit on the other side of the balloon, right across from it. So at the end, your balloon should look like this. Now we're going to take our bendy straw and we're going to put it through one of the slits that we made. Just like this. Now, we're going to take our other balloon piece that we cut and we're going to put the straw that we put through the balloon through the other slit as well. So this is what it should look like now. Now we're going to take one of our cups and we want to wrap the balloon head around the top of the cup. This part should be inside of the cup while you are wrapping the balloon head around the top of the cup. Now the balloon has to be wrapped tightly around the top of the cup, so if you need help, please ask an adult. So this is what your model should look like right now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the other straw that we made with the balloon piece and we're going to put it through the other hole. Like this. Okay, so now we're going to set up our heart model like this. We will have one cup on the left with water in it. You can add some food coloring so you will have an easier time seeing the water flow through the model. The other empty cup will be on the right.
Before we continue, you might want to take your model into the kitchen or outside, somewhere where it's easy to clean up a spill. Now, when you press down on your balloon and let go, what do you see happen? The cup on the right that has no water is receiving water from the cup on the left after you press down on the cup in the middle. This is how the heart works. If you don't see your model pumping properly, the main reason may be that the space around your straws is too big and the balloon isn't airtight. The easiest fix? You can push the straw to one side of the hole and put a piece of electric tape to cover the gap. You can also add more tape around your straws so the water doesn't leak from them. This should help get your heart model running.
Let's break down our model step by step. Ready? Let's go. Our heart has 4 chambers.
2 of the chambers are called atria, where the blood enters the heart.
The other 2 chambers are called ventricles, where the blood exits the heart. Each chamber is separated by a valve. Blood flows from the atrium through the valves into the ventricles.
Let's look at the first two cups in our model. The first cup with a lot of water is actually the atrium, where the blood enters the heart. The cup in the middle, where you press down on the balloon, is the ventricle, where the blood exits the heart. In our model of the heart, the atrium, or the first cup, is giving blood to the ventricle, or the second cup. The blood only flows when you push down on the balloon. This is how the valves of your heart work. When you push down on the balloon, this is like the valve of the heart opening and allowing blood to flow through to the next chamber, or in our case, the next cup. When you let go, the valve closes and no more blood can flow through.
The valves of the heart make sure that the blood only goes one way, from the atriums to the ventricles, and never backwards. This is actually why we tape the balloons at the ends of the straws in our heart model, so the water would never travel backwards when we push down on the balloon. It will only go to the next cup. Our model shows that the atrium, valves, and ventricle all work together to keep blood flowing in the right direction. Now, let's think of a scenario to see the whole heart cycle in action.
Let's say we want to run a marathon. Just like our model shows, when the blood from our legs first enters the heart, it doesn't have a lot of oxygen in it. So the first thing that happens is the blood flows from the right atrium to the right ventricle, or from the first cup to the middle cup in our model. And it gets pushed out close to our lungs, or the last cup in our model. This is so the blood can be filled with oxygen again. Once the blood has oxygen, it goes back into the heart and goes from the left atrium to the left ventricle, and gets pushed with so much pressure that it can reach our legs. Pretty cool, right?
Your model shows you that the heart is a very organized structure.
It separates the blood with low oxygen coming in from the body on the right side, and keeps the blood with the oxygen that the body can now use on the left side, all in different chambers. This is why the heart is so good at its job. To sum up the whole cycle, the blood with low oxygen from the body enters the heart and flows through the right atrium to the right ventricle, and then gets pushed out close to the lungs. After the blood has more oxygen, the blood from the lungs enters the heart again and flows through the left atrium to the left ventricle, and finally gets pushed out to the entire body.
The whole cycle repeats itself. The heart keeps beating on and on.